With winter in full swing, many of us are trying to find creative ways to stay warm. You probably use disposable hand warmers when you've gone skiing, hunting, hiking, anything like that, but I've always found it hard to justify using and subsequently throwing out disposable hand warmers on a daily basis. It's always felt wasteful and costly to use them with any sort of regularity, but that doesn't mean I don't see the benefit in doing so. In steps the Baby Dolphin Pocket Warmer. This small pet egg shaped battery says it can not only charge your phone but keep you warm for hours. The only question is, does it do as good a job as it says it does? Starting off with what you get in the box, of course you get the hand warmer itself, you get a micro USB cable to charge the internal battery, you get a little velvet pouch to store it in, and then you get a lanyard for in case you want to dangle it off your wrist. The Baby Dolphin comes in 4 different colors, and as you can see I've got the blue one here. As far as the build quality is concerned, it's actually pretty solid for the price. It has a decent weight and overall it feels pretty well put together. On the topic of design, it's worth mentioning that the shape is actually quite comfortable to hold in your hand. It's nicely rounded, and overall it just fits nicely into your hand, especially if you had a little bit bigger hands than me, you'd really be able to get a solid grip on it. It's not super small, which means you might have trouble fitting it into your gloves, but it's definitely small enough that you can toss it into your jacket pocket before you go out for the day. On the end of the device, you have a couple of pretty self-explanatory ports. You have micro USB in for charging the internal battery, and then you have USB-A out for charging other devices. There's also a button that lets you turn the thing on and switch between the 2 temperature settings. So this is a 2-in-1 device, meaning it can actually charge your phone, although I wouldn't really recommend buying it for that reason. According to the product description, it has a 5200 mAh battery, although I wouldn't necessarily trust that number. I'll link you to a really nice Linus Tech Tips video on the topic, but even if you take the number at face value, it's not exactly a massive battery. It's enough to get by, but don't expect it to charge your phone particularly quickly. Whether you believe the product description or the label on the product itself, it's either 1.5 amps or 2 amps. For my testing, I'm more inclined to believe the 1.5 amps, but of course I can't say for sure. And keep in mind, if you use all of the power trying to stay warm, the charger won't get you that far anyway. Also worth mentioning, you actually can't have the heat on while charging another device. It will just shut off if you try to charge your phone with it. Last but not least, let's talk about the actual heat output. You have 2 different heat levels to choose from. There's a 113 degree and a 131 degree Fahrenheit setting. If you're worried about a lack of heat, I can put your mind at ease. On the high setting, I can't even hold this thing in my hand for more than a few seconds without it burning me. I'd say it's on par with many disposable hand warmers I've used in the past, and one definite benefit of this one is how quickly it gets to full heat. It's definitely not the 3 seconds it says in the product description, but within a minute it'll be nice and toasty. As far as duration, again, I wouldn't necessarily trust the numbers they give, but I can say I'm pretty satisfied. I seem to get around 3 hours, which yes, is about half of what they claim, but in the end I still think it's pretty decent. Long story short, if you're planning on going out for a day on the lake, I'd still recommend picking up some disposable hand warmers. They stay hot longer, easily can fit in your gloves, and if you happen to lose some, it's not the end of the world. However, for daily use over the long winter season, I can't really find many faults with the Baby Dolphin. Except the name, they could work on the name. It's easier to charge it overnight and throw it in your jacket pocket. That way, if you're in need of a charge or just wishing for a little bit of warmth, it's got you covered. Oh, and I definitely recommend picking up a couple of these little micro USB and lightning cables. They're one of the ones with the little end that comes off. They're perfect for charging your phone with the Baby Dolphin, and also you can charge the warmer itself if it ever dies. Anyway, today's question of the day is, do you carry a portable charger with you? I still keep one in my school backpack, although since I've gotten the iPhone X, I've realized I barely ever use it. Let me know by tapping the I, and don't forget I post new videos every single Sunday, so I'd definitely like to see you back next week. But until then,